Sometimes in life we have opportunities to help people, and other times we volunteer to help people. What I find fascinating is the number of people who want to get copies of our materials for our program, and yet they don't ever respond to us when we follow up with them. Now, is that a reason of technology not really being functioning correctly for our telephony? Or is that a social media company saying we are not going to allow you to have this connection, which is a violation of our telecommunications law that says we have the right, underneath the First Amendment, to assemble with anyone we so choose? And in life, we have to look at how do we make a living. We could make a living between the hours of 8 and 4, or 7 and 3, or 9 to 5, which tend to be first shift. We also might be people who need to rest during the morning hours and get up to take a second shift because it's the most productive time during the day to make business calls. When I used to plan business strategy meetings for people trying to market their business or their fledgling opportunities, we would always talk about the productivity of a business week. That there are certain days that you do certain things, and on certain days you don't even bother because no one is available to take your call. When I made phone calls to over 4 industries, literally dialing through a phone list that I was given of several hundred typical companies in that industry that were produced by our city by one of the major business magazines of the day, what I found was almost none of them had someone to answer the phone who knew what the heck they were doing, and very few of them had anyone who answered the phone who understood how essential that first phone call for their company was in terms of making a sale, keeping a potential client, and literally turning that person over to the right person who knew what to do for that organization to ensure that their marketing and publicity was handled correctly. In life, we have moments of time to decide what our story is going to look like. If we have people that lie, steal, and cheat those who call you out of the opportunity to speak to you, that is a problem in your organization. When we have people who literally lie about their positions in a company, even though they work there, that also is a problem. When we have people at small companies and small businesses that want to take copies of information from people who contacted them so they can be in the know, so that they can take that material that is intellectual property and copywritten work and utilize it for their own ideas and their own agendas, that is a major theft. In life, we have moments of time to tell people how we feel, what we think, and what we do. But the truth is, if it's not something you've created, if it's not something you've designed, you're going to fail at trying to use it. The Lord God Most High puts people in touch with others. And when we have volunteers say, we'd really like to participate with you, and we reach out to them and we don't get a response back, we have to really wonder whether that professional was real or whether or not they were just pretending to be polite. In the name of a lot of things, we do things in the world, but the truth is, when we work for a company, no matter what position we hold, no matter how we are working, in that exact moment of time when we interact, we are still representing our company. And in our off time, if we're walking through the streets in that company uniform, we are still representing our company. If we're going to lunch, we're representing our company. And the one thing that, of course, drives a lot of people crazy is seeing nurses running around in the community in their uniforms, because what they're doing is they're bringing out of hospitals the illnesses that they are tending. Now, in life, I can talk about real things or I can talk about fake things, but what we were talking about is the hours of the business day and productivity points. The productivity points are often during the second shift of the business day. That has often been the most productive time for people to make calls, to receive help, and to find what they're looking for in life. Thanks for listening.